Hello and welcome back to BRC 1000. This is lesson number 9 of module number 6. Odd sentence in a paragraph. Number 1. Now, odd sentence in a paragraph was a regular feature in the CAT. And then for some reason in 2022 it just vanished. So you're going to take the test in 2023. I don't know whether odd sentence is going to be there or paragraph completion is going to be there. Very likely that if they have made the change, they would have had a reason as to why they made this change. It can't be random. It would be some specific reason. Maybe that question is not really helping them in some way. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe they have found a better kind of question in paragraph completion. No clue. I'm not privy to such information. But it's very likely that this paragraph completion going to continue, but we should need to understand how to read odd sentence. What if there are completely new kind of question regarding paragraph is asked, right? But essentially, all this will be based on our same principle of a particular paragraph, right? That's about unity, coherence, and cohesion. That there is a controlling idea in a paragraph. The paragraph typically zooms in. We can find echo, we can find pronoun, we can find signal, there would be blocks. And whatever be the type of question, we should be able to handle it based on this idea that we have about paragraph. And in odd sentence specifically, kind of everything plays a role. Everything. What happens here? 5 sentences are given. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All these 5 sentences, mind you, is from the same topic. The topic is the same. When I say topic being same, okay, it is not the main idea being same, just that the topic is same. Imagine you have got a passage which has got multiple paragraphs, okay, and all this related to, let's say, post-humanism as an idea. And each paragraph is obviously talking about maybe post-humanism is problematic. Let's say that's what the author wants to say. An author will then talk about what is humanism. What change happened? Why did post-humanism happen? What are the features of post-humanism in paragraph number 3? What is problem number 1 of post-humanism? What is problem number 2 of post-humanism? And let's say restating some sort of a summary of the discussion. Let's say this is what happened. Now here, this 4 sentences that is given is, let's say, from one paragraph. That is essentially talking about what post-humanism is. Now the odd sentence is taken somewhere from the same essay. The topic will still be the same, but the treatment to the topic will be different, right? So that's how it's important. The topic will still be the same, but the treatment to the topic. So the topic is post-humanism. Treatment that happened, let's say in paragraph number 2, is talking about what post-humanism is. Paragraph number 3 talks about the specific features of post-humanism. Paragraph number, let's say this paragraph talks about the problem that is with post-humanism. So the treatment of the topic in each of this paragraph would be very different. Right? That is something that you would keep in mind. So the topic will be the same, but the 4 sentences that belong to that particular paragraph, to that single unit called a paragraph, will have one controlling idea. So what does the controlling idea mean? That specific treatment that is done to that particular topic. The specific thing, that's important to understand. Okay, this may be related to the same topic, but the treatment that is given to the topic, let's say, is X. This is a treatment that is Y. So this particular sentence does not belong here. This particular sentence, which is an odd sentence, belongs somewhere else. Could be in the same overall essay, but not in this paragraph where we have this specific discussion that we are having. Right? So controlling idea. What is the easy way to find controlling idea? We'll see echoes. If all are controlling idea, there would be some kind of echo, not in every single sentence, but some. So there'll be repetition of idea. One thing you have to be beware here. There could be faulty echoes. I can still have post-humanism mentioned here and post-humanism mentioned here. Just because you find an echo does not mean that you will start saying that, okay, the other sentence is not part of the story. Okay, echo is only going to help us understand what the controlling idea is. So when you keep reading, if you find echoes, that will help us understand controlling idea, right? But we have signals, pronouns, and other signals. So, for example, this particular sentence here, let's say the third sentence, starts with the word this is due to and something is mentioned, which means that sentence cannot stand on its own. That particular sentence now need a support. Let's assume that we found out the sentence that can give support is the sentence number 2. Let's say. Now sentence number 2 has to give support to sentence number 3. Sentence number 3 in itself cannot exist. Sentence number 3 needs sentence number 2. Now what that tells me is that at least, I don't know whether sentence number 3 should be a part of the conversation, but what that tells me, sentence number 2 has to be the part of the conversation. Now think about this logically. Let me explain this once again. If you are confused, I have no problem. I have figured out the sentence number 3 has the word starting with this, which needs an antecedent somewhere else, right? Let's say sentence number 3 has the word this. That antecedent is coming from, let's say, sentence number 2. Now, which is the odd sentence? Can the odd sentence be sentence number 2? The odd sentence cannot be sentence number 2 because if sentence number 2 is odd, if it's removed, sentence number 3 cannot exist. Okay, so there are clues that we'll get, right? In this, there are clues. I'm not saying the sentence number 3 should be a part of a conversation. That I'm not too sure. It is not necessary that this particular sentence need to be there. But for sentence number 3 to exist, sentence number 2 definitely has to be there. Right? So let's say there is one more sentence which has another word. Let's say it talks about it and goes on to say, and we realize the support for this sentence necessarily comes from sentence number 1. Okay. So what that tells me is now sentence number 1 and sentence number 2 definitely must be part of the conversation. Now whatever is discussed in sentence number 1 and sentence number 2, that would be definitely part of the controlling theme. So all these small things is going to help us in figuring out which sentence is the odd one. Another one is we'll definitely find blocks. There'll be 2 sentences which are so connected together, you'd want to keep them. So when you find these very strong blocks, and you believe that both the sentences need to be part of the conversation, and those 2 sentences are needed, definitely together they are needed. They need each other. In sort of a conversation, what happens is that we've put them in bucket. Then we can have those the blocks and then see which of the other sentences is aligned to that particular block. So what we're doing, we are basically using the tools that we have, that we learned from a paragraph, and using those tools to answer the question, which is to find the odd one out. The process is going to be very simple. What I would want to do, so I would want to read all the sentences. When I'm reading the sentences, if I feel that there is sentence number 2 needs support, I'll keep a note of it. I'll think about what are the concept that is echoing, and what I want to get is to get the theme, which means, see, there is just one odd sentence, right? The four of them is part of the conversation, has to be part of the conversation. So when you read it, you'll get a sense into what the theme is, and then you keep checking. Okay, which sentence is mapped to the theme? Is some sentence slightly going away from the theme? What is the specific discussion that is happening? Can we find all these connections, pronouns, signals, okay, echoes, and then find the odd? So my suggestion would be to first read the sentence and get an idea of the theme, and then do all the other things that you want to do. Okay, right? Got it? So let's look at this particular question. This from CAT 2017, slot number 1. The first thing I'm going to do, we'll just read it. And if any sentence needs support, we'll figure out. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct? People who study children's language spend a lot of time watching how babies react to the speech they hear around them. Okay? Sentence number 1 is talking about people who study children's language spend a lot of time watching how babies react. Fair enough. Sentence number 2, they make, okay, so sentence number 2 definitely needs support. Whoever is giving support needs to be there. They make films of adults and babies interacting and examine them very carefully to see whether the babies show any signs of understanding what the adults say. Okay, so far it seems that the people who study children's languages, that's a reference to there. So 2 needs 1. If you remove 1 from the whole equation, I think the 2 cannot stand on its own. So 1 is kind of in. Okay, they believe that babies begin to react to language from the very moment they are born. Okay, they also that also needs support. Sometimes the signs are very subtle, slight movements of the baby's eyes or the heads or the hands. Okay, you would never notice them if you are just sitting with the child, but by watching a recording over and over, and you can spot them. Okay, when you read this, right, and knowing very well that sentence one has to be in because couple of sentences needs it, right? So what we actually see here. So if you look at one word that is echoing, right? You see babies, you see babies, you see babies, you see baby, you see child, which is a baby. Everywhere there's a baby. So that's okay. Okay, don't fall for this one, okay? But there are other echoes which are very clean. Sometimes the signs are very subtle. You see carefully when the baby shows any signs of understanding what the adult says. Sometimes the signs are very subtle, and that's a nice sort of thing. 2 and 4 connected together. Okay, but the point is, what is the theme? We understand there is a baby involved, but there are also the second subject here is the people who study children's language. They are involved. And what is the specific thing that is going on? They use study children's language. They are study, which means they are examining them. Okay, so you never notice them. And suddenly you see in sentence number 3 talking about the fact that they believe that baby begin to react to language from the very moment they are born. Their belief. Why were we discussing our belief at this point in time? Why are we having discussion about belief? Let's just talk about this. Okay, let's look at the theme. It's about studies. Okay, people who study children's language spend a lot of time reacting to the baby. That is aligned to the theme. Okay, that's clearly aligned to that theme. They make films of adults and baby interacting and examining them very carefully. That's a part of their study. That's part of the theme. Sometimes the signs are very subtle, slight movements. So signs are subtle. You have to notice this one. This is all aligned to some specific aspect, but it's definitely aligned to the theme that they are studying and what they have to do. You would never notice them. Never what the signs, of course, right? If you are just sitting with a child, but you watch them recording over and over again with the theme. How will you ever connect this sentence about the belief into the current discussion that is going on? You just can't. Therefore, 3 is odd. In fact, the correct order back then, right? The way in which they used to create the question, the correct order is exactly the same order in which the question is given. Oh, that is amazing, no? That is exact order. Oh, this question would have been amazing. The question was given in this particular manner. 5 sentences, 4 of them are given in the exact same order as it is. You just have to figure out which is that fellow, the parasite which has come in. It would have been much better if the question was like this, but then they decided, oh, this is, questions that this is kind of easy. Let's not do this. What they did after that, 2018, they jumbled everything. Even the correct sequence are also jumbled, but we can still handle. Okay, we can still handle. These are all is a jumble. Okay, but we know that there is a theme. 4 of them would be aligned to the theme. Let's figure out the theme. Displacement in Bengal is thus not very significant in the view of its magnitude. Okay, so I can see the word thus. Okay, not very significant in view of magnitude. The one will be an interesting sentence because we can relook at does one need some sort of connection. Okay, a factor of displacement in Bengal is a shifting course of the Ganges leading to erosion of river banks. Okay. The nature of displacement in Bengal makes it an interesting case study. Right. Since displacement due to erosion is well spread over a long period of time, it remains invisible. Rapid displacement would have helped sensitize the public to its human cost. But what is this? So because we understood this thing, so basically if you look at read the sentences, you've got displacement in Bengal, and it's basically explaining that phenomena. We actually see this talks about the nature of displacement in Bengal makes it a very interesting case study. The factor of displacement in Bengal is the shifting course of Ganges leading erosion of the river bank. Since the displacement due to erosion, I think you can see the connection between 2 and 4. Erosion is well spread over a long period of time. It remains invisible. Therefore, it displacement is in Bengal thus not very significant in the view of this magnitude. Okay, it's not very significant. That's what is going on. All these are aligned to that theme of displacement Bengal. What is going on in sentence number 4? Where is it aligned to? It is not aligned anywhere else. Answer has to be sentence number 5. That's it. You want to try this? Pause the video and try. Go ahead. Did you make a mistake? Okay, let's read one by one. Not a problem. Just read 5. Figure out the theme. See the alignment to the theme. The simple thing to do. And all these connections, blocks, if we have to eventually try and figure out if two things are connected together, we'll do that. So let's start with sentence number 1. Socrates told us that the unexamined life is not worth living, and that to know thyself is the path of true wisdom. Okay, Socrates has told us something. Unexamined life is not worth living. Knowing yourself is the path of true wisdom. It suggests, okay, to read support, it suggests that you should adopt an ancient rhetorical method favored by the likes of Julius Caesar and known as Iliism, or speaking about yourself in the third person. Okay. 3. Research has shown that people who are prone to rumination also often suffer from impaired decision making under pressure and are at substantially increased risk of depression. Okay. Simple rumination, the process of churning your concern around the head, is not the way to achieve self-realization. So rumination is a problem. That problem is explained. Okay, I can see something. The idea that this small change, what small change, in perspective can clear your emotional fog, allowing you to see past of your biases. It suggests, what is suggesting? The research is suggesting you should adopt an ancient method favored by likes known as Iliism, or speaking yourself as the third person. The idea is that this small change, I can use all these connections after this. What is the theme here? Theme is talking about the problem with rumination and the possible Iliism as a solution. That's the theme that I get. No, I can look at, for example, sentence number 4 is talking about simple rumination is a problem. Sentence number 3 saying the research says that yes, it is a problem. Okay, so we have a counter to it, which is Iliism. Okay, that is aligned to this. And the idea of that small change is this. What is this doing? After all that, there's some discussions going on. Suddenly, Socrates told us. What is this? Okay, you look at this odd sentence and say that where can I connect this sentence? To anywhere. Where can I connect this sentence? This sentence is truly odd. Which sentence can I relate to? I can at least get a connection between 2 and 5. I can connect 3 and 4 together. I can connect 3 and 4 as a block, going to 2 and 5 as a block. Or 4, 3 as a block, going to 2, 5 as a block. It's talking about a problem, then an alternative. X and an alternative. Where will I connect 1? I look at this. Okay, I can connect this sentence. Displacement is thus not very significant to sentence number 4. I can connect this sentence 3. The nature of displacement make interesting case study. So let's talk about this. Where will I connect this? Where? Which sentence? The way in which this question set is trying to trap you is creating this echo word and confusing you. Beware. The only way they can confuse you is by creating some faulty echoes. Okay, or faulty pronoun link, or faulty this link. That's only thing. Either will be a faulty echo, or a faulty pronoun, or a faulty signal. Okay, trying to make you to take it. That's what happened here. The questions that just didn't bother only. Questions that felt that I'm going to give some amazing sentence like this, and there'll be some people who will go, I like that sentence. I want that sentence to be the part of the conversation. Come on. We need. Socrates told me. And look at, for example, this one. Where will you connect this? I can obviously connect 2 to 1 and definitely 2 to 4 about the sign, and then 4 to 5 talking about the sign. You have to watch it over and over again. Where will you connect this? Believe that their baby have. Where will you connect? You need to have the conversation somewhere else. That's very simple, right? Again, we keep it simple. Whatever be the kind of question that is thrown at us, we'll keep it simple. Keep it simple, soldier. That's a way forward. Not too much of stuff. not too many things. We don't want to be in a situation in which where the way in which we are learning is okay, for this particular question I will use this, for this particular verbal question this is what is going to happen, this particular verbal question I'm going to do this particular verbal question I'm going to do this. No, all the questions are based on paragraph, and the paragraph has to deal with these three things, and there are certain cohesion tool that is used. There is typical coherence that happens. There is going to be a controlling idea in that they can find one block. Whatever be the kind of question throw at me, I will use this. Next time there is a new kind of question. Since I understand paragraph, since I understand how paragraph work, I can apply this. That's how we're going to deal with it. I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.